And on the other side, you've got the Talir and the Poppy, who just would love to go down and make sure that doesn't happen. So all eyes on bot lane. Surprise, surprise.
Of course, coming into 12-14, we knew there was likely going to be a more bot lane focus. We've been seeing it. The thing they do is they win that jungle matchup, and that means that bot lane feel even more empowered to go down towards and keep pushing in. Misfits though, they flip up the script, they go top side. Can Chachi get out?
Gonna make this happen. Chachi is ignited, charged away from First Blood. Over to Irrelevant. Anything but.
Hey, well, what's the cross map? Xerxes now sat down towards bot side again. We said this is where Astralis really wanted to put their resources down towards. It is a kill onto Chachi. It is a kill. Of course, Irrelevant picks that one up. But the question is actually, how much is this actually worth? You're still down 20 CS in the 2v2. You're being forced off of waves. You're being forced into a bad situation.
Here we go. They're managing to get the Ignite down. Mercer looking to be sacrificed to Kobe. The glorious execution needs one more attack. But Xerxes is the one that picks it up.
Again, while you have like the eye candy on top side, I think it is the right decision for Zanz to just pick up the early option there towards top side. You are still in a very bad spot down towards this bot lane. I'm actually a little bit worried now for Misfits in terms of actually what can you do to bail out this Civ. We were talking so much like a failed look in top and a mid lane play which doesn't really work out. Just the fact that they had the space to do that without losing anything is good setup from Astralis.
Jonghoon and Xerxes don't seem to be done there. It'll be a 2v3 in the river. Smite fight comes through, but here's a Talir. Weaver's Wall to try and turn this one around. Making this now a 4v3 over the wall. Goes Mercer trying to get the Dayor. Shockwave used. Dayor got nowhere to go. And the Clockwork winds down.
So Astralis actually biting off a little bit more than they can chew at that point. As much as they had the first keep putting a finger towards that, while the gold is fairly even. Worried about this 2v2.
Exactly, and this is really to highlight the fact that both these teams have had great turnarounds over recent weeks. It's Irrelevant. Out of nowhere, it's a solo kill. Who needs graphics?
Xerxes responding bot side, so it is actually going to be a bit of a split map, but Astralis not looking to contest the Herald.
Yeah, VTO roams down as well and does have the Weaver's Wall available, so this would be very risky to truly defend this. Looks like Neon will get every plate here as Berlin. Very pleased to see Shelly get a charge on in.
Got some demolitionists more often than not. Misfits occasionally go towards a bit more skirmishy stuff, but they are no strangers to the 5v5 as
Mercer.
Well.
Ooh, very risky place to be as a Leona still tanky enough, but he's about to find himself the end of a Phantom under tow. Not taking that low and actually trying to turn this one around, and Xerxes having to retreat, gets just out of range of the Glacial Prison. Attempted pick by Astralis, swiftly responded for.
Oh, it's a good flash.
That's going to be a massive flash. Dayor having to flash back out now himself. The phase rush is going to be stopped out with a massive shockwave. But he's kicked away by Keeper's Verdict.
And that was kind of what it's quick the fight keeps going.
It's just all over the map right now. Both these teams scrambling to find themselves any advantages, but nothing comes. Loses a lot of his HP for it.
But you know Irrelevant, you see that timer ticking down?
I do.
That was a couple of seconds off of potentially very dangerous situation for Astralis. It is around that second. Herald Ultimate's now available for pretty much everyone on the board. You know we're talking about those team fights. Round one.
It's brewing here. Can they make it happen? Chachi on the side, nearly at Mega Nub, but will be shoved forwards and into the wall afterwards with a heroic charge. He's knocked up and knocked down. Chachi out, Glacial Prison afterwards, and Xerxes now has to back out best he can. Member down. Misfits managed to have the Herald reset on them, but should be able to secure this, and the Xerxes felt the need to go in, will instead retreat to his Krugs, and Misfits right now feel in command with a few thousand gold to their name.
And I know that Mininar is a little more squishy than they used to be, but I have to feel... Oh, gosh.
The Pike is about to find his end, or find himself on the end of a Zenith Blade, but actually Kobe forced a flash out of Mercer, but now Kobe out of mana. The Blood Rush isn't going to matter. Zanzura knocks him down, and the stacks are down for the count.
And Astralis, it feels like they're missed very quickly, and because he's backing off, Draven suffers for it too.
And in they come with the second Herald, ready to try and make sure this happens. They're going to keep charging forward. Irrelevant forcing a flash away from Jonghoon potentially. He's got nowhere to go though and just gets knocked straight down. No chance to use the summoner until a little too late. Second charge comes through. Weaver's Wall afterwards to prevent any easy defense. Man down, 2 towers down, and Misfits on a roll here.
And Zanzura is having a wonderful game on this Poppy. You know, it's not like Astralis can capitalize on the early dragons they got. They also don't have that much vision. They're spotted on all of their entries. What can Xerxes do here?
He's got to keep his verdict. Misses though, and now actually Misfits a little bit pinned in place. Neon throws down. The spell shoveled into the wall is stunned. Zanzara, can they trade this one out? There's just not enough damage quite yet, and none of the rest of Misfits are here and looking to fight. Kobe stunned, has to cleanse Flash, and he's in trouble. Still on the other side of Chachi, taken out by a ricochet. and it's going to be a bounce house that Neon is winning. A shutdown, though, on Zanzara is something, but can they sit down? The Sivir will get it, and Astralis still playing this one up best they can. Irrelevant, and VTO are still going to try and punish, though they are not done here. They refuse to lose, as Xerxes will be stopwatched away from killing off the Talia. Double to the mid laner of Misfits.
And you know what? As soon as we saw that approach the Dragon, I was getting a little bit worried. I thought that Misfits, even with that vision, had allowed Astralis into a very...
landed. The Draven and the Pike haven't snowballed, haven't got those cash-ins, and now Misfits in a very commanding position. They stop the soul point coming through, and honestly, with the Sivir now at 2 items, nearly 3, you get very worried.
Let's see with this brief pocket of vision, Astralis might be able to find a pick.
Then we're going to try and get this one down. There's surely a shutdown coming through, death from below. Jonghoon cashes in.
Okay, all right, that's important. It's extra gold on the table. Of course, reminder, this game is so important for both of these teams. Moments like that, lapses in concentration, can mean so much, but Misfits on the hunt with the Sivir.
They will not let that kill go unpunished. Astralis in a 4v3 must fight somehow, some way, teleporting in, trying to survive, but already Dayor taken so low. Falls down to a final ricochet. Chachi is here, but Jonghoon will burn down to irrelevant. Again, that name feels more and more like a complete joke as Chachi is wounded away with the wall. May have a hop, may have a hope, but not enough quite yet. Meganar is just not enough. He falls down, VT on a killing spree, and Misfits punish the temerity of Astralis for trying to take down one of their members.
With a hop, a skip, and a crunch. Find that now right back towards that death chamber. Got the Baron started up finally at this point. Misfits using that Sivir ult to great impact to catch Astralis out after they'd find their own pick. Xerxes around. Doesn't have a great way into the pit right now.
He must try to find something. He's got no blast cone, no ultimate, no flash. He's just going to stand here, unfortunately, and watch as the Baron falls down. Over the wall goes irrelevant. This Sejuani has done nothing but go forwards. A rampaging Freljordian warrior doing so much more. They get themselves the Baron. They'll get themselves out and miss.
In the break.
Well, the siege continues right now, and they're going to see whether VTO having gone golden here will be just about fine. Teleport coming through to get back from the side lane from Dayor. Knocked back away is the near Meganar. You can hear what the crowd wants.
Yeah, the crowd
see whether they'll load in. It seems like Irrelevant feels the need. Dayor has to whack away. On comes the Whirling Death, but still Kobe yet to cash in. Zanzara murders out the Pike. Finally catches in, does Kobe. But I think it might be a little too late into this game. It's a 1-for-1 right now, but the inhibitor turret falls regardless.
Oh, they finally get a kill onto the Draven, but it's after so many deaths, and it's just not easy pickings for Astralis. They've been left trying to pick up the pieces of so much in this game. Couple of early look. We are a very civilized community here at the LEC. We are civil.
I'm with you, crowd. You boo that. That's fine. I want some more action. Thank you. Hey!
No fighting. Hammer away.
And now the fight begins. The crowd will get what they asked for, and they asked for blood. Irrelevant gets a kill onto Dayor. Jonghoon still hammering or haunting behind the scenes here, but just nothing to be done. Kobe gets a bit of a trade onto Zanzara, but inhibitor falls regardless. One remains in the top side, but it's unshielded by a tower, so maybe some damage here is shoved back is irrelevant, but he's just so tanky. The turnaround comes straight on through. That is a dead Chachi. Zanzara will follow up on the Solar Flare, and Xerxes has to Heartbreaker away. Kobe, Whirling Death, just not enough, and Jonghoon, it just feels like there's nothing you can do right now on the Pike.
And as soon as Misfits get this 5-man unit together, especially with the gold lead, it's so difficult for Astralis to find their target, find them. Oh, good flash away from Jonghoon, but you can see Astralis really struggling to land the hits.
It's a last dance, a last attempt to hold on to the base. They just can't quite make it work. Misfits looking to secure themselves that additional game win, looking to make sure the playoffs is theirs and not taken from their hands. A critical win against their nearest competitors will be theirs. Misfits move to 8 and 6.
Nexus finally falls. It took a bit of effort, but Misfits, I really admire their discipline in this game. There was that one slight slip with the pick onto Zanzara as they were looking around that Baron, which of course Astralis punished them for, but they were very quick to pick up the ball after that point. And Misfits, what a revival this team has had from the start of summer, where it felt like they'd lost their mojo a little. This team has become quickly now another one of these playoffs representatives that we're likely to see. And this win puts them very firmly on that path.
Last hurrah from Misfits continues to be really exciting. And a reminder here, people, key player of the game on LEC at Twitter, of course, could make things quite tricky for this team. I am so excited. I'm glad BDS has still got some few punches to throw, because it's a very interesting draft at the very least.
For sure. Well, now, BDS, now, I'm looking at this combo, enemy jungle. It's going to be level 2 to level 3. Syncroft has cleared out the entire bot side, but this is going to be a fight over this buff.
This is a risk. Haru down the level here. Either he wins a smite.
Syncroft has to look for the fight. He has to look for the fight here because he doesn't have the smite for another couple of seconds. As you can see, he's going straight towards it.
Perks is here, though.
Perks has Prio, and that's flipped it.
But Aggressivo's coming over. There's the smite. Now level 3 comes through on the other side. Syncroft taken so low, but that's just a dead monkey. Surely over the wall he goes. Flash after Haru, but a smite onto the Krugs. Over comes Alfari. Syncroft is down. First blood to Vitality. Wait, but they're like very much the wrong side of the rift here. They need to try and escape as Nuclear hops over the wall. Has an edge mixed up once this. I don't know whether he does. Gonna try and go for a spleen to spare. Another smite again! Haru gets another.
Is this Vitality or Mad Lions? Because you see the Swain, you see that Trundle, you see the jungler just run into the enemy jungle. In the jungle 1v1 matchup, I am sat there going, well, yeah, I guess we might even see it again.
Round 34, Flight Limit gets pillared. Now needs to try and extricate himself from the enemy jungle. Gets chomped down, the Never Move misses, and in they go with the bandage. Starts trying to trade this one out, but Limit just nowhere to go. Cannot quite read his own limits. 3-0 of Vitality in this early game. It's only 4 minutes in. Just hovering around in this bush off vision, seeing whether Kazi can be caught out. Does have the spell shield, of course, and not the easiest person to get.
You know what else? Oh, he's
find it anyway. They're going to get the Ultra Shot laser afterwards, and Kazi dead in lane. Matty gets one on the board for BDS.
Okay, so this bot lane finds something. An interesting conversation. This doesn't involve the junglers, but I'd love to kind of bring up this conversation in terms of actually who has been trying to do the carrying on BDS. Who has the team been trying to play a bit of a spooky game here? Vitality don't see BDS. BDS, do they see them? They definitely do now. That's the...
Matty, is he as in danger as they think he is? There's now Kazi's left on the other side of the rest of the team. Away from a blast cone. Kazi has popped his ultimate and will get out to safety. Flash was popped, but Syncroft now maybe overextended, has his limit. Can he escape? Because he's got no flash. Avoids the handshake, goes back in. Remember, there's still no ultimate available. So you'll see a very dead Limit who's secured by Perks.
And this time it is Vitality. Complete Civic Gaming in the last one was shut down a little early, even though they managed to come back into some of the team fights later. But this will be, if you get all those plates in, still a very relevant Civic in game 2 of the day.
That is a very risky way to walk Demonic. Ascension goes through House of the Pillar, and Syncroft nowhere to go. He is never moving anymore. Dead again.
Perks, man. Sad
He's everywhere to get this win. There's the Herald now summoned. It will go into the mid lane to try and pressure this Kiana a little more.
So, that's... obviously a very important thing to keep track of. When you lose... oh, that's another going on to Matty.
That's a flash, nowhere to go though. His hostile takeover, and I don't think that they can get out. But he Spark Surges out the burn from Haru. Gets him a kill.
Oh, challenging Smite MVP. Didn't even need an ignite.
Perks just flashed to get away from Nuclear's edge of Ixal, empowered by a little bit of water. And will manage to get himself out to safety for now. But BDS... down 3,000 gold, down their AD carry, who nearly escaped, but not quite enough HP. Now in a difficult position, they'd love to get another dragon. Instead, they're going to go in, get onto Haru. Remember, he's burnt himself the ultimate. That's not a great supreme display of talent. Goes wide, Nuclear trading out with Perks, but a Demonic Ascension means nothing to be done. BDS go for a fight and handily lose it. The Boomerang Blade comes back. Got to learn that one from...
It's extra CC, it's still the damage on top of it, but it's just not clean enough from BDS. They decide to go for the fight. They don't quite find those angles, and the Limit starts off with that 2-man in this summer.
As it stands, still Haru with that impeccable kill participation. Involved absolutely everything on this map from that early invade. Now Nuclear and Syncroft in danger again as Haru lands the pillar, trying to chase down on this Wukong. Gonna get away for now, but I don't know how far he can run. Rooted, hand shook, and I don't think you want that deal. Perks on a killing spree.
Oh, Syncroft has... When you're playing around this Amumu, you can see that Limit has struggled somewhat to gain big control of the vision, but in this game, see what happens around this top side.
Oh, that was not the best proto build I've ever seen. Aggressivo will throw down a slicing Maelstrom, but he gets a stun onto 3 and still falls. Haru gets that kill, and BDS are scrambling as we might even get a third charge from Shelly here. The old shock laser doesn't put it down. In she goes, destroys the turret, and Vitality are continuing to play. How far will they go? Nuclear taken down. It's 2 already, 3 already, and all the while Alfari flashes out, and the Matty tries to trade this out. A Zeri moment maybe incoming, but as their Visions of Empire secures it, Kazi gets a triple. The inhibitor will not be taken down quite yet. Vitality decide they'll leave that one alone after a stunning ace.
And I love this mentality from it. Is also in just a very comfortable spot in the meta herself right now. Very high wave clear and just able to run down even the extended range carry of that Zeri. So even Matty at those items couldn't really achieve what he wanted to. Nuclear in, Trying to do something around this dragon, but really not in the same spot.
The pillar from Haru, just phenomenal. The Emperors of Inkstyle taken straight out
This
there.
team get. They were promising strong results when they built this roster, made some changes. Feels like they found a bit more chemistry, a bit more cohesion. Can they find the way to close out this win? Feels oh so likely. Really does feel like it's on BDS to find a crazy wombo, but I don't know if they're going to be allowed it.
It's a Hail Mary. They need to find something in this choke point if they can. Limit throws down the curse of the sad mummy, but he's sent straight back to the pyramid. Dead the mummy is.
Yeah. Send him back in a coffin. It's back into that pyramid, and again, like that was like the one time I've seen potential for Vitality to actually get wombo. They were all stood in the same spot, but BDS were already on the retreat. They couldn't get to that point. The Vision's been starved out, and they have to now advance into enemy territory.
The Baron's been started, Perks demonically ascends, and there is nowhere to go. Demon Flare still yet to be used. A rampage for Perks. That will be a supreme display of talent, but it's just not enough. Nowhere near the damage. Kazi has got like 20 kills to 2. Vitality dismantle BDS.
Vitality, it has been an absolute display from them themselves. It really wasn't in question. They started off strongly. They're going to run down with 5 people through the topside inhibitor, go to 9 and 5, put the pressure onto Rogue later into the day, into their last games, see if they can keep pace.
From a team that struggled to find synergy, dropped out in playoffs in spring, to one of the most dominant teams in Europe right now, Vitality are on the up and up. Eyes on playoffs, eyes potentially on Worlds.
Taking their time to finish off the Nexus, but it is going to have all the same Vitality. Just about save Lavrov by taking down the Nexus, save those stats. And again, this is a team which has themselves a really good run of form at this moment. You know, it's taken a little while for us to change our thinking about this team, particularly because it was such a shock when they faltered in spring, but summer has been such a different story for them.
And especially after the break, especially now that we've seen a lot of those flaws that were haunting them towards even the beginning of this split begin to turn around. They now look cohesive. They now look dangerous as a unit, not just as individuals. You have to begin to wonder, what is the ceiling on this team? We knew there was talent here.
You're hoping that you can just support your lanes through to those 5v5s and hope that SK don't have any early game plans of themselves.
That's definitely the case, of course. If we get to those team fights, and with the way these drafts are working out, it looks like we may well get towards them at this point.
Area has that level 6, and of course that Cyclone, very, very important in these more than just 1v1 fights. Gilly's still in the area though. How much support has he really got here?
Not maybe as much as he was hoping, as Subjugate's been popped, but the Call of the Forge Core now coming through. Wonder gets a knock-up onto Gilius, who's ignited, now flashing away. Flash forward from Wonder, who really wants this, but now the turnaround. Not bad with the Cyclone, but a first blood from Hillisang, aggressively flashing forward for it. But all the while, steps into the backside, exhausted.
Good
Can't
exhaust.
quite perfect. The SQ doesn't get it with the 5-point strike either. He's back into the Shroud, but I don't know whether it's going to be enough. Trying, but not enough. Megadar into the wall from Genax, but cannot secure it. SK are thwarted at every turn. 3-0 to Fnatic.
And you know what I'm gonna say here? Support diff. Hilly turns up early. We called this out. Fnatic had themselves the bot side control, got to crash that wave in. They got first reset, better individual value, so Fnatic gonna have that value under pocket as well. And now we asked the question a little if it's gonna be great at some point. We scaling, boys. But this is not the game where that is going to be easy. Herald gonna give it even more gold into Upset, was already fairly affluent before that point, gets themselves to increasingly likely. Again, if you're going towards these big team fights, you're not really going to be that happy about it. Chances are you're going to lose yourself something like a mid lane out of turret. That means that it's much harder to approach these fights. SK,
beginning.
Such an important fight for them.
Teleport is there. They're going to try and secure it. It's now gone through onto the Trundle. The root comes through, but no real kills come through. Flash forward from Brother with the jump onto Jezu, who's having to run away. The Sivir is out, but one on the other side. Janus gets a stun, but cannot get a kill. Certes exhausted, but shoved away with that massive Emperor's Divide. 2 back to Fnatic, and there is just nothing SK can do. It is a demolition at double Rift Herald fights.
Oh, the Herald times out. The 2 focus on the kills, but you know what?
This team, this squad, back into a better position in the split, as the Dragon's being started, in fact, by SK, so maybe we'll wait for that one a little moment.
He has himself items. A crown makes it much harder to burst him out at the start of the fight. What can SK do against these carries which are coming online?
Gilius has to back out again. He's on 20% HP, being subjugated already. Jenax hops away, but I don't know whether the Emperor's going to allow him to go any further. The Blast Cone gets him out to safety for now, but a command attack and a shuffle will ensure that Humanoid gets a kill onto Jenax.
Sands shift, the Sands take down a Jenax. Gilius left alone, and Hilly feeling bloodthirsty.
Bloodthirsty supports, you love to see it. Wonder on a killing spree, but let's be real, that's Hylissang with all the work.
Yeah, bringing back some good old supportal combat. Fnatic get that soul point up onto that Ocean Rift, getting them at that same point. You really were hoping for something to get working for you early. It's not happened. Fnatic showing no mercy. They're trying again.
They're going to make an angle in, but they overcomes Wonder with the call of the forward court. Certus knocked up, trying to go down. Hylissang's got a wild growth that gets alive. The living artillery secures a kill, and the artillery continues to rain down hell from range. But the kill comes through, and SK throw a Hail Mary, and it comes weak. Right, BDS was the first win they'd gotten in a while. And they are now in a position where they can start making that push into players, making that push to compete further on as Jenax. His Alcove gamed his way out of this.
Alcove Gaming.
Humanoids will be spotted! No! The recall is cancelled!
Oh, Jenax, no!
Alas, sweet Jenax, we knew thee well.
Cooldown, so you get yourself the ability to kind of WEQ out, just shift away, and you can probably see that right now. I mean, Humanoid is so safe on that side lane. Fnatic really don't need to be worried about a lot of these fights.
Quick note as Jenax and Wonder trade out here. We are on track here for a perfect game from Fnatic. The last true perfect game was in spring of 2018.
No,
as
don't
Wonder,
say that.
The moment might have just cursed him.
No.
Can he get out the perfect game? Was it about to be ruined?
Why would you say that?
I deserve that. I'm sorry, Fnatic. See, okay, bit of recovery. We'll take it.
There we go. Play nice as well. Gilius, stuck between the pillar and the wall. Oh gosh, I mean, you know what? I'm pretty sure Fnatic won't feel much worse about that. Still so much in the lead.
Well, SK managed to at least prevent the perfect game. The record still lands. It's been 4 years at this point. He's going to have to wait a little longer as Upset decides he's a bit angry about that and just murders the monkey.
Okay, they just never get rolling. Fnatic, very confident game for them, very decisive, and this has been a game which has been much more cohesive from Fnatic than we've seen in quite a while. So for them, it's a bit of a late recovery into this split. Again, they need to pick up some wins, but no time better than to start now.
Baron comes through, 20 seconds on Ocean Soul, the perfect game.
They're not even testing themselves. This Dragon, they're going to get themselves an objective bounty on the top side of the map, but it is such a consolation prize. It nearly see it in that that split, but now we thought we could see the same from them. They were improved by 1 on the first round robin. They went, 3 and 6, and it was like, wow, okay, cool, maybe they can do something with this. And they've not really managed to keep up that innovation, that momentum.
Upset. The Bio-Arcane barrage of the living artillery takes Gilius down to 10% HP. Jenax has to recall as this Cogmore just unleashes on the enemy jungler.
That's gonna be such a difficult position to be in. What can they do? Can they break this team?
24.5 minutes on the clock, and Fnatic are done waiting. They want this game right now. They want it right here, and SK, the playoff stream is looking like a bit of a wish and nothing more as Fnatic prove why they have made playoffs so many times throughout the years. They're on track. The recovery continues. 2 in a row for the boys in orange.
Fnatic starting to show signs of life again. Broke that lost streak, put a second one into that win streak now. Would have loved that to happen so much earlier in the split, but they might have to work for it. But they are looking a lot more cohesive, as we were saying. There are things to start grasping onto here if you are a Fnatic fan.
Absolutely, and we just brought up, SK and Fnatic close in the standings. SK can maybe push for playoffs and get in here, and Fnatic just dismantled them. Literally off another early invade, the game just falls apart for the other team.
Yeah, all around.
Sure, and you also have the Trundle, which is going to make the tankiest, in quotation, members of the side of Rogue, which is most likely going to be the Wukong. Maybe the Gwen, when she walks in, that he's going to make them a piece of paper. And so far, it's going pretty well for him.
I mean, exceptional start. I have asked our observers just to check whether or not a bad trade or something happened very early, because we weren't watching top, and Armod is being jumped in right now. First blood secured on Armored, who is falling, is scary for Mad Lions.
And that's an Ignite Sejuani, because you usually do not run flash onto that champion up in the top lane. So if you do get ganked, it's pretty bad news for you if you get caught with really low HP. Kaiser now roaming mid.
Oh, Lawson sidestepping the threaded volley. His flash is forced, but Niski playing that well. I think Lawson just about escaping.
Which is the typical Rogue game we usually see, where they bleed their opponents out through map pressure.
And look at this. Trimby's on the roam from bottom lane. No pressure from Unforgiven, and Niski gets knocked up. He's holding on to that flash, realizing and trusting.
Spellbook into TP, he's actually right there in the fight. Level 5 for Kaiser as well, doesn't have the Wild Growth, and Rogue are there and ready to fight.
Comp's going to be a little bit late. True Shot Barrage is on cooldown. He's just making it past the inner turret in mid. The Weaver's Wall comes out from Niski, locking up Rogue. Unforgiven gets one for Mad Lions. That's a secure on the Herald, and Trimby jumps in, dashes right back out, and Rogue are being wrecked. But will the re-engage help out? Unforgiven is firing out those bursts of fire over and over. 2 kills to Mad Lions, 1 for Rogue. But the Herald was secured, picked up by Unforgiven, and Mad Lions get out.
I mean, Mad Lions had 5 members into that Herald pit prior to Rogue. Fight. Trimby is level 6. So if Rogue want to pull the trigger, get into this fight, they do have the advantage of the ultimate on Trimby's Rakan.
Yeah, they're not going to commit for it though. Neither mid nor bottom lane is making that move. They'll
map, you see they're slow pushing the wave. They're not overextending whatsoever. You see how far behind Kaiser goes, but they've seen that he's back in. Unforgiven is all alone.
Oh, knocked up into the air, charmed in place, and Unforgiven will get taken out. Trimby manages to secure that. The teleport is now being channeled. And for Rogue, I think it's like specifically for Malrang, we're very happy to see his influence in the early game. Definitely helping Rogue pull ahead. That's a good charm onto Alyoye. He's tanking up a couple turret shots. They turn their attention back to the first tower.
Malrang?
Unforgiven, dashing over the wall, chunked down. Exhaust comes out below 100 HP. Manages to make it to the tower. The burn may not kill him. True Shot Barrage is sidestepped. How good are your dancing feet? Unforgiven, taken out by Rogue.
Literally, the only reason Malrang was not using his dash onto Unforgiven, was to try.
I don't know if Malrang can find another angle. He's got that Cyclone available.
There's been 3 or 2 members mid this entire game. Larson.
Oh, the seismic shove into the pillar of ice, but the quickness fired out from Trimby. That's buying so much time. Double stack on the Cyclone will allow Larson to take down his nemesis. Rogue with gold, as well as an item lead, and now they're also playing around this pressure. They're going to shove down top. This will be the first tower secured. No reply from Mad Lions, Trouble.
Look on the map though, there's 3 members of Rogue towards the top side of the map. They want to get that second tier 2, unlocking the whole top quadrant of the jungle for Rogue. Maybe even trying to pick a fight with Armut.
They are indeed. Armut's being jumped on. No prison, not going to do anything. The kill is secured by Odo.
No way.
And they're going to be able to take 2 towers for the cost of the second earlier. Allows him to push relatively safely. It allows the dragon to be secured uncontested.
In your build, but you do take down the Womb at this point, and Mad definitely do not want Baron on the side of Rogue, because they already...
Armut is going to dash over the wall. Baron hasn't yet been started, and now the Rogue reinforcements arrive. Odo and Trimby, the first into the fray. They jump onto Alyoye. He's snipped to pieces, loses a third of his hit points. That is gigantic. And this time around, Rogue, they're starting off the Baron.
They're starting off the Baron, and Trimby will play Gatekeeper right there. Look at Lassie, he does have his ultimate, level 17 on this Ahri.
Oh, there's the quickness thrown down. Alyoye stays alive for just a few seconds longer. That's Smite doing work. Baron down to 5,000 hit points as Mad Lions have stepped forward. Armut's held on to that Glacial Prison, hasn't pulled the trigger yet, and Rogue are running for their lives. They have been forced.
Tell you what though, there's both, all 3 teleports, are down for the side of Rogue. So when they're starting to pressure the side lane like Odo Amne is doing towards the bot side of the map right now, they're not going to have a TP to join. Trimby
is in a little bit of trouble, has been able to run for a while. Exhaust is thrown out. Trimby caught by the prison, is going to be forced to flash over the wall. The dash comes forward, and Niski gets the kill. Mad Lions with the numbers.
have the ultimate to find, so that Ahri is not as potent. And Mad, slowly but surely, keep creeping back in. They keep finding these peaks, and the first ones in the river.
They are. There's no teleports, remember? Trouble just talked about it. They're late. Rogue are not going to arrive in time. Baron is being burned down. 4,000 hit points. It's gone. It's gone. Mad Lions have secured the Baron. True Shot Barrage made it very, very close. Can Rogue find any kills on the way out? Odo on their steps for the Cyclone is knocking up the Mad Lions. Odo's chucking out the needles and snipping his way. Comp Arcane shifts over the wall, and there is so much damage. 2 members of the Mad Lions are down already, and Unforgiven will be the third. Lawson Spirit rushes forward as Kaiser is running for his life. Mad get Baron, but get decimated in the fight.
And Rogue were trying to find a way to force Mad to fight as Malrang will seal the deal with an ace. And Mad gave it to them, Trevor. Rogue right now are 10,000 gold in the lead. They have so many more items, so much more damage in their inventories. And Mad gave them the teamfight that they so longed for.
It was the make or break play for the Mad Lions. Gamble it all on the Baron, and they got punished. But frankly speaking, Rogue smashed from the early game. And after a troublesome week 6, turn their attention to the #1 seed. They beat Mad Lions in week 1. Rogue beat Mad Lions in week 7. And the 2-0 head-to-head could be massive at the end of Super Week next week.
That is so important when you're chasing for the #1 spot. Reminder, Rogue is a team that's notoriously known for ending first in regular split. So if they want to continue that tradition with themselves, they need to beat whatever team is sitting on #1 right now, and they've done it twice.
I mean, that is just, it just makes the rest of the games even more interesting when you look at the top of the table. I think very impressed with Rogue's early game and how Malrang was able to find some influence again. And for Mad Lions, a bit of a wake-up call.
Javan, I'm like, where in the world do you go? Do you pair up together with Setsuani top lane, try to punish a tank to give a kill to another tank? Do you go bot lane where you have a severe Lulu and you want to shove it quick?
Broken Blade's also got that Ignite available.
Oh, here we go.
Flag and drag over the wall. Bellows Breath comes out from Finn. The knock-up, the flash over the wall. Now Broken Blade is chasing. Jankos waiting for that E to come up. It is available. Marcoon now stepping forward to try cut off Caps, who's being flanked by Nuke Duck as well.
Oh,
the chains don't find a target. Finn, Bellows Breath does a lot of damage, but first blood is secured by G2 and the crowd goes wild. Marcoon's trying to chase forward with those auto attacks and will get a reply.
And that is absolute chaos 4 minutes in. Quick reminder, last time G2 were able to...
They've worked together, they've found advantages, and a lot of the time, when they are in the lead early, it's because of these 2 players. And look, once again, Marcoon is going to be flanked by Mickey in the middle lane, trying or potentially...
Oh, Broken Blade level 6, he's already in the mid lane though.
Okay, Glacial Prison needs to find a target. Marcoon's only level 5. Nuke Duck is going to be able to escape with that Mimic for now. Now Marcoon stepping forward again, no Heartbreaker, and Patrick gets the first kill. The flag and drag is dashed away from his Cap, stole that Heartbreaker and used it as an escape. XL get another.
And XL is so quick to reply.
53. And if Caps wants to claim that prestigious title, he will need to die 6 times. Let's see if he can do it.
Finn is roaming towards the top side of the map. The bot lane is in trouble.
What a stun! Mickey and Marcoon, the M&M duo, setting it up. Heartbreaker will secure the kill onto Target Master's Broken Blade. Will be flanked by Caps. That's a hijacked Ornn ultimate, knocked backwards, sending XL flying. Here comes Marcoon for the re-engage as Jankos flags, drags, and cataclysms his way into Marcoon's face. Another kill secured. This time it's Nuke Duck that picks it up as Flacket gets the first for G2 in the fight. It's not done yet as Caps and Flacket trying to hold off the siege. The tower is being chunked out as Shelly's been summoned. Ooh. And Marcoon continues the chase. Flash forward into Ethereal Chains will root up one. Cap survives thanks to the Lulu Shield, but not much longer. Marcoon 3-0-2, and they could continue the push.
And Marcoon is one of the most aggressive junglers we have over in the LEC. I have been casting this guy's career
CC, and Marcoon dancing on the edge of safety. He's 3-0-2. He's now such a power to contend with.
Oh no, Nuke Duck though uses W. He doesn't have R available. He will be mobile for a little bit.
He will indeed. Caps has been able to at least hijack the ulti. That's the passive from Nuke Duck, and it should be an easy secure. Caps will be able to pick that one up.
Very
Nukeduck
nice.
punished.
Very nice punish right there by the mid-jungle duo. Again, the reason they were able to beat XL last time was through Caps and Yakos shutting down Nukeduck. But I don't think Nukeduck is the guy you need to worry about.
No, you don't. Makuun's going to go forward, targeting Targamas, pulled backwards as Patrick is tanking out the tower. They're not going to be able to find the kill thanks to that wild growth. Cataclysm is available. Jankos flags, drags, and dunks down onto Patrick. He's already used that Apotheosis, and that's one more for G2. Makuun is the next target as Flacket takes down Mickey, and Makuun may not be able to escape. Shut down. G2 right back in it.
Over-aggression from XL, instant punish from G2, and Berlin is going mad. G2 really needs this if they want to pull this back. Only 800 gold deficit, that's going to be their second dragon as well. And some kills are going the right way to the carries. One for Caps, shut down onto Nukeduck. Two for Flacket on...
Oh, that means there's a lot of pressure to step up and find those picks. Caps is now under some level of pressure here. Won't be able to look for those chains. Nukeduck stepping forward. The Heartbreaker comes out, and there should be a kill secure. Caps down to 200 hit points, and on the mini-map, no one else really available. G2 shoved the way forward, but XL are in the river.
I'd say eyes on Broken Blade. He has the trigger in his hands. If he catches anyone with that ultimate, G2 are gonna pile up on top of that member and kill them before Tariq ultimate takes turn.
And the moment that engage comes down, follow Caps and Flacket's HP bars. XL need to take them down. The Dazzle finds the root, the flag, and the drag from Jankos does wonders. The Cosmic Radiance will buy some time as Jankos is forced to flash defensively. Nobody's died just yet, and the prison will whiff. Caps is stepping forward. He's got the Heartbreaker available to him. The chains will whiff, and Mickey is able to escape. Now Finn, the next target, stashing forward. Caps will be able to find one. It's Flacket that actually gets the last hit, and now Makuun's the target. Another for Flacket, a third for Flacket, and it's G2 that destroy XL.
And XL pile up into this.
It loses a lot of the synergies and the values. Patrick on this Neela hasn't necessarily taken over the game, as Jankos will stay alive a couple seconds longer to get back to his team, and his game that Cap showed in the top lane, he's already made it back to the squad. Another 5v5 setup. Gigantic initiation tools available for both. Cosmic Radiance still available for Caps. Cataclysm is flashed away from by Mickey, and that's at least the hijacked Cosmic used. Broken Blade split off from the rest of the team. Finn will get that knock up. Call of the Forge God will whiff and not find further. The re-engage coming from G2 will be thwarted by the Cosmic Radiance. XL need to get the damage down, but they can't do it. They can't touch Flacket. They cannot find the bot laner. 1, 2, 3, 4 kills secured already, and Jankos is trying to hunt down Nukeduck. It may just be a matter of time.
Oh, Targamas gonna flash forward for the ace! And G2 win a very crucial touch the exact same time. And not only are they gonna take the Baron Trevor, but they're also gonna take that very needed Infernal Soul. I think the crowd buff is working for G2.
The crowd in Berlin are going ballistic. Another excellent team fight. Finn, by the way, is trying to get something in the bottom lane, but he needs to be with his team to defend.
Finn is your goal button. If you're XL, you cannot have your own in the front line, because G2 are just going to walk in. There is nobody that poses a threat of engage to G2 if Owen is not there. So G2 are just going to walk in, take your main middle in. The closest one is 14.
I mean, 7-0-5 for Flacket right now. He's been untouched through multiple fights, and it's G2 on the initiation. Caps takes a lot of damage, but Mickey's forced to use the ulti already. The Forge God goes through, spell shielded by Flacket, who finishes off that inner turret. The re-engage, and Patrick is being forced away by Broken Blade. That's another kill for Flacket. He's legendary, a double. And G2 are now setting their sights on the Nexus. They're pouring into the base. The Red Bull Baron power play is still in effect, and those minions are going to help tear through this Nexus turret.
And the guy who was criticized in spring comes into this game, takes the resources, and carries the team to victory.
G2 esports are not done yet. They continue the chase onto Nukeduck and Mickey, looking for a couple extra kills. One last XL member standing is dropped inside of the base. G2 dominate XL. Those team fights were beautiful from G2's perspective. Maybe optimistic from XL's perspective, constantly into those narrow choke points.
I have to say, Neela just felt so difficult to play into so many melee champions that want to CC lock you in place. Again, it's a Samira-esque type of champion. you dive into Lulu, Sejuani, Caps on the Silas, you're gonna get locked down, CC'd. And Patrick was just not able to play these fights in the choke points.
No, absolutely not. G2